Let's move on to do the next story. Now we have here new fees for passport acquisition takes effect. Standard application now 644 Ghana cedis. The story here, let me just read it. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration has announced upward adjustments in its fees and charges for services effective Monday, April 1st, 2024. Now, the ministry in a statement clarified that this decision aligns with the 2023 Fees and Charges Regulation, LI 2481. And I quote, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration wishes to inform its valued clients in accordance with the Fees and Charges in brackets Miscellaneous Provisions Regulation 2023, that's LI 2481. There will be an adjustment in the fees and charges for all services provided by the ministry. The adjustment will take effect from Monday, 1st April 2024. Now, the processing fee for expedited 48-page passport now costs 800 Ghana cedis, while 32 pages application is 700 Ghana cedis. I quote here, expedited application 48 is 800 Ghana cedis. Expedited application 700 Ghana for 32 pages, 700 Ghana cedis. The standard application 32 pages is 500 Ghana cedis, and standard application for 48 pages is 644 Ghana cedis. And the story goes on there. And yeah, so Paul, let me come to you. Start with you on this one. It seems like a huge jump. It is a huge jump, actually. Not that it seems. It is a huge jump. However, and I'll explain later after hearing your thoughts, I actually think it's fair.
Fair, huh?
Yeah. What do you make of it?
Hugo, is the MPP still looking forward to breaking the 8?
Oh, they haven't. In fact, even Brian Chapo says we are not handing over to the NDC.
I hear he repeated that.
Yes, the second time you said it.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you said it.
I'm sure he must be standing on something, so it's okay.
He said you're not handing over.
See, the way I see it is as though the government is not ready to hand over power to its own. Because some of the policies it keeps implementing, it's a bit mind-boggling, all right? This year alone, we've been faced with the issue of emission tax.
Yeah.
Something we are still grappling with. Then we wake up and we are told that passport fees has gone up in excess of about 500%. 100 cedis for standard, 150 cedis for expedited, right? And that was what was the case.
Yes.
Today, 500 cedis for standard.
Yeah.
And I think...
Standard 32.
Yes, 32. And then I think 644 for 48.
644 is for...
the 48 page, right?
Yes.
And then 700 for 32 expedited, 800 for 48 expedited.
Yeah.
I think it's scandalous.
Why?
You see, the defense of the minister was that government subsidizes about 300 cedis for each booklet that it prints. And so when we buy or when we pay the 100 cedis, it means that government will have to add 300 cedis more to the 100, making it 400 before a booklet is printed. And I think that's quite huge. So it makes sense that perhaps a little adjustment is done to it just so government can wean itself of the subsidy. Now, let's consider our economic situation.
Yeah.
We are at the IMF. We need every single revenue that we can lay our hands on. So I agree that the adjustment must happen, all right? But to what percentage? That is where my issue lies. Now, if you are increasing something, is it a stopgap measure, or because of the economic situation we find ourselves, So if it is a stopgap measure to reduce the exodus of our people traveling to Europe and wherever, then we can all sit at a table and discuss. But if it is because...
I doubt if that's the reason, though.
I'm just saying, if it is because government spends so much as subsidy, and so government wants to wean itself of that and perhaps channel the revenues to other sources, then again, we can still sit at the table and discuss.
Okay.
All right? But where, or in a situation where you have an upward adjustment of some 500%, it is quite punitive. Listen, Auntie Mansa, who lives somewhere around Jakobu,
Okay.
in the Ashanti region, will want to travel and visit the son in the US. Because Auntie wants to travel, Auntie will now have to pay 500 cedis for a normal standard 32-page passport.
What's wrong with that?
How will Auntie be able to afford that?
Well, it's her son.
Or just because
It's her son.
the son is outside
he lives
of the country.
in Abuchi.
So
He should send money.
she should
He should send money.
sell everything she
No,
has
no.
in order that she'll be able to visit
No,
or
she has
or
more than
get
500.
Kweku,
She's going to buy a plane ticket. How much is that? She's going to pay visa fees.
You see?
There is no visa fees that is below 500 cedis.
This
doesn't
was,
exist.
This was some of the points the minister made, in attempting to, rationalize the adjustment.
Yes.
All right. But I still think it is punitive. And I'll come to that. She attempted to compare Ghana with our neighbors or our neighboring countries. Nigeria is paying somewhat $56, or is it 54? $59 per passport. Guinea is paying $57. Cameroon is doing 180. Burkina is doing 80. Okay. But let's ask ourselves, are these countries at the IMF? Are they going through under any IMF program?
Some are.
All right? We are in a crisis. Ghana is broke. Yes, we all understand that. So the economic situations we find ourselves is not the same as we have in Burkina, we have in Guinea, we have in Cameroon, or even in Nigeria. And so if you come back and you are increasing fees from 100 cedis to 5, goodness me.
Okay, let me ask Larry what Larry thinks. Larry, so what Paul is saying seems to make sense on a certain level. When you're looking at the challenges in the country, you're looking at difficulties that we're going through and all of that. But here's also what I say. As people are paying 100.
And these are your views.
Yes. As people are saying 100 and 150, right? At the same time, I went to pay 100. I think I paid 150, no, 100 actually for my last one that I went to do. Because I did for my daughter a couple of years ago, and I did for myself 2 years ago, right? I paid 100, I paid 150, right? But I also got calls from somebody who had found out that I had just done my passport. So, oh, I want to do my passport. Then I said, well, this is what you need to do. Do the online thing, and then walk into the, and I gave a name for somebody in the passport office, go see this person. Listen, the person told me that somebody had charged them 2,000 cedis.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in the same milieu that we are working, the official fees were 100, 150, but we all know that there are Goro boys charging 2,000, 2,500 cedis, and this exists.
Don't belabor the point. See, this online thing.
Yeah.
I have a friend who does passports. So I called him and said, Chief, I need this. And he says, I should send Momo. I mean, he's been doing passports for me. So he's been doing passports for me. And then he said that, so, I mean, he went online, did the form. While on, he did the form. And says, how much? I asked him how much. Then he said, I should send him 200 Ghana cedis. Okay. I mean, he's a friend.
Yes.
We've known each other well over 20 years. So then he filled the form. I noticed that the receipt that went with it rather had 100 Ghana cedis. as you know,
As the official,
as the official
reception of the money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So 200,
Yeah.
but then
Yeah.
the receipt.
No, but that one is not bad.
And
As opposed to 2,000.
I'm coming.
Under
So
the-
wait,
under the processing.
yeah. So then he said, "Oh, I should talk to an official in there." No, okay. Yes, I should talk to an official in there. Now, then the person, when I introduced myself, then he was all over the place just to get me the passport. Indeed, it was done in no time. Now, I have to sort the man out as well. So I had to give...
No, you have to say thank you
Ah,
for the
okay.
help given.
Okay, so I had to
Is that how
say...
you define it?
So,
That's what it is.
so I had to say thank you for the help giving.
Yeah.
Those are your words, not mine.
Yeah.
so, so that went, you get it. So before I left that place, I'm sure I might have done well over 700 Ghana cedis.
Okay.
Okay.
And this was how many years ago?
Oh, this is my latest passport. I think I traveled with it last year. Yeah.
So let's
Traveled
say
with it,
last
yeah,
year.
to Europe last year. And so almost 700 Ghana cedis went away. Okay. But I got it, within 24 hours, it was
It
ready.
was ready. Which means it's actually possible for the passport office
Oh, yeah.
to do 24 hours.
Everything in Ghana is possible. Everything in Ghana is possible.
Larry.
But
this
these passports that
yes.
we are talking
Yes,
about,
yes.
my little education on it is that they are not our ordinary passports. These are electronic passports. Some of them, I think they are supposed to have chip.
Yes,
And,
they have things embedded in there
embedded
for,
in
for
there.
security and all of
Now,
that.
there again, they are supposed to contain bio data,
yes.
so biometric passports. Now, if we have dealt with issues of, non-availability of booklets,
Yeah.
for me, if they are going to charge this amount, but then the booklets will be available, such that, Paul, no matter when your passport expired, you can have access to the passport in record time. I mean, for me, it's okay. It's something that we can
I
go
mean,
with.
I will say like DVLA. Ever since they raised their fees,
Yes.
I haven't heard of lack of availability of cards for printing driver's
But
licenses.
again, this 200 Ghana cedis and then 100 Ghana cedis that we've been charging. I mean, it's been on for years now.
Many years.
You mean the standard one?
Yes.
No, the current
100.
one that we are departing from. The charges
The one we're about to
it's
leave. Because if you remember, Paul, when we were going to get the passport from the post office, the doc to fill, those are some of the fees we were paying at the time.
But you see, this was
That's
part,
before 2016.
this very
increased
one,
later.
this very proposal was part of the 2024 budget.
Yes.
That was approved. Okay. So these adjustments were expected.
Okay.
But even at the committee level,
Yeah.
the consideration was that it will be held on for a while
Okay.
until perhaps the economy picks up.
Okay.
And then the adjustment will come in, but even not at this rate.
Okay. It should
Okay.
be lower than
Yes, it should have been lower. So the proposal was to
I
have
still
it
think
around
it's
300 cedis for the standard, and then perhaps a maximum of 500 cedis for the expedited.
I think if this will get rid of the Goro boys or reduce the number of Goro boys in the system. Because
it is
Paul,
an
people are
artificial
paying
creation.
2,000.
No, it is an
So
artificial creation
there will not be a struggle
by
to
the
pay
staff
800.
and even the ministry. It's an artificial thing. Look, the system is supposed to run. Listen, when I wanted a passport last year to travel with my brother for his wedding, I couldn't go. Why? I didn't even know my passport had expired. But when I checked, it had, and it was somewhere July.
It happened to me.
So I had to quickly fill one.
Yeah.
It took me over 3 weeks to go through
get.
the online.
Oh, really?
I am telling you,
I got mine in 3 days.
the online one,
Not 3 days, about 5
just
days.
to fill and then submit. Do you know when I had a date? From December. My date is on 19th of this month.
Paul, let's talk after
Paul,
this. You are struggling too much. Let's talk after
in this society.
Let's talk
I
after
decided
this.
not to
No,
go
we'll talk
through
after this.
that one.
You're
You
struggling too
should
much.
You
to
know
the
that in
normal
this
sense.
society, it's not whom you know,
But
but
what?
who knows you.
Uh-huh.
So the two are key.
Yeah.
So you should know somebody.
Yeah.
And then call on the person. So listen, I mean,
Please wrap it up for me.
Yeah,
I want us to touch on something quickly.
yeah, I'm
before we
going
go.
to wrap up. See, then there's also talk of increasing the pages.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. From
And-
30
Yeah,
to
even the
48.
48.
Yes, they are doing
More.
yes, and then also 32, then 48, and then 32 and 48, and I mean from what I have, I'm told that we have 500 Ghana cedis for the 38.
Yeah.
Sorry, for the 32.
32.
And then 644 Ghana cedis
for the 48.
For the 48.
Yeah.
In between that, in there also is where you have the
expedited service. Yeah,
service.
700 and 800.
700 and then 800.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, I think this is
fair,
really
honestly.
fair.
I think it's fair, honestly. DVLA, what are we paying for expedited service? It's
fair.
similar fees. for
And they have
expedited
increased the
service.
years also.
Yeah, to 10 years.
Yes, to 10 years.
Yes.
5 years.
But that's
and 5 years comes.
that
5
happened
years
in
just-
2019.
Well,
That
okay.
happened in 2019.
Is that?
That happened in 2019.
It happened in
Gentlemen,
2019.
gentlemen, we need to
No, as at
the
last
5
year when I got my new
was
passport.
5 years?
Yes, it was 5 years.
Yeah.
It wasn't 10 years.
No, there's been a switch back and forth.
Yes, back
there
and
was a
forth,
10 years,
that's
then
right.
it went to 5 years. Please, let me just quickly
And the
read this.
processes you have to go through.
Why not even 20 years?
Sometimes
Why
they will
10
move
years?
you. They will move you from the
Let's start from 10
They'll
years.
move you from the passport office near, the GIJ area
yes.
to the Accra main office and back and forth.
Or to Tema.
Yeah, or to
Okay,
Tema. I mean,
guys,
boy.
please.